request Sri Ajit Mama to speak on some salient aspects of our Ācārya Stotrams.
Hari Om. So in the SLC group, I think there was a document link shared. If you want, you can open also and follow along. Bhagavad-padasya stotrani saralani bhaktya puritani ramyani hridyani tattva-bhushitani prasanna gambhiratam vahanti. So Bhagavad-pada stotras are there for everybody. Like a dance program or a singing program, there has to be something for the people who know the art. There has to be something for the people who are dragged along, and then something for everyone else also. So it has to solve all those needs. So simultaneously, everything is there so that everyone gets something. So we'll start with a mahāgaṇeśapañcaratnam stotram that we are going to hear in a few minutes. Mudākarātamoda kam sadavimukti sadha kaladaravattansa adhe mari kam ram nam we are going to hear in a few minutes, right? That simple thing where he just adds the same pratyaya, it gives a certain musical element to it. Fifth shloka, he adds two letters. Instead of just saying one, he adds two. And he'll make it a na and a ta. Nitanta kanta danta kantim anta kanta katmajam achintya rupam antahinam antaraya krintanam. In the second and third, he will do it again. In the first and second one, the same pratyaya. Basically, he will put the same ending to all the roots and make it happen. The karam, mudakaram, kshama, yashaskaram, manaskaram. Pick a word, put karam at the end, problem solved. It's nice and musical. In this one, it is not like that. Every word is derived very differently. Right? And it gives you a certain musical element to it also. So the second half of that first line, right? So, nitanta kanta danta kantim, antakanta katmajam. Antaka atmaja. Antaka is Yama. Okay? Antaka, the destroyer. Kala is Yama. Antaka is Antaka, the destroyer of Yama. Who is that? Parameshwara. And then Atmaja is son. So Yama's destroyer's son. Right? And as the movies have told us, Antaka is a bad person. Yama Dharmaraja is a bad person. So Antaka is Shiva. Shiva helps us. But we just heard that is not the way to think about this. Right? It cannot be the way to think about this. So in Kena Upanishad, we have the famous vakya, right? Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vacho hi vacham sav pranasya pranaha. So he is the Atma is the ear of the ear, the actual listener, right? The chakshushash chakshuhu, the eye of the eye. So anytime you have that duplication, it is the Atma inside that is the sakshi. So Antaka here is that Antaka Santaka. It is the Atma who is doing the samhara karya. It is not that he is destroying Yama. Right? Simple. This is coming directly from Upanishads. And what is the hint? Antakanta katma. He has put the word Atma there. He could have said Antakanta putrajam. He could have used so many words. He didn't pick putraka. He didn't pick any other word. He picked Atmaja. Because Antaka Santaka is Atma, the Nirupadika Atma, and from that comes Sopadika Atma, which is the Ja. So in that simple phrase, Antakanta Atmaja, full Advaita Tattva is given. He has told us that it is the Sakshi. He has told us that Nirupadika Bhava is there, and then from that comes the Sopadika Bhava. So Gaṇeśa is the Saguna Brahma that we can do puja to. Right? So all of these shlokas, one phrase, he has given us that alliteration. He has given us the meaning, and the full Upanishads are brought in, right? Nitanta kanta danta kantim anta kanta katmajam. The rest of the shlokas, so many things are there similar to us. So next we'll take bhajagovindam, and the shloka is the Nalini Dala, right? Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tadvajjivitamati Shayachapalam Vidhivyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam shokahatam cha samastam. So he's saying that life is fickle, right? For Nalini dalagata jalam, the water droplet which is on top of the lotus, it just falls off easily. Same way life also goes quickly. Tadva jivitam atishaya chapalam. And then he says, but when we have all the difficulties, then lokam shokahatam bhavati. We feel the sorrow. Why? Because of vyadhi and abhimana. Vyadhi abhimana grastam. Okay? Simple shloka. But here, more than the meaning of the words, the letters themselves actually tell us everything we need to know. So, Nalini, like in Saṃskṛta, when you have a meter, it is not defined by short vowels or long vowels. It is not defined by alpa prana or mahaprana. That is how we talk about it. It is defined by laghu and guru. Laghu means light, guru means heavy. That is how it is actually defined. The Panini Sutra itself will define it as laghu and guru. Guru, heavy, that heaviness comes if it is long, if there is a mahaprana, or if it is followed by a samyukta akshara. So any of those three conditions. If it is long, mahaprana, or there is two aksharas together, two consonants together, it is guru, it is heavy. That heaviness in the shloka is in the second half. Vidhivyadhyabhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. How many times the guru has come? How many times the dirgha has come? How many times the samyukta aksharas have come? Now take the first half where he says life is easy. Right? So Nalini is the lotus. So if the water is on top of the lotus, once it is on top of the lotus, it just falls down. So it cannot be long, it cannot have a mahaprana, it cannot have a samyukta akshara. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajivitam life atishaya chapalam. So the whole thing, there is all short vowels, all in a row, right? And then the second half, he cuts it, and that is life. Vidhivyadhyabhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. So the meaning of it is there, but just that itself is sufficient. And if you look at it, the no mahaprana that we just talked about, go back to the previous verse that we saw. Nitanta kanta. There will not be a single mahaprana, and that cannot happen by accident. Nitanta kanta danta kanti manta kanta katmajam. No mahaprana. That's what gives it that lalityam, that ramaniyatvam. So this is the second one. Third one we'll look at really quickly. śivamānasapūjā. Ārādhayāmi manisannibhamatmalingam Mayapuri, right? So there itself we have our clues. Atmalingam has come, Mayapuri has come. There has to be something special in this verse. Why Atmalingam? Why not just lingam? So lingam has the lingam is something which gives you knowledge. Right? Lingyate, jñāyate, anena iti lingam. It's what gives you knowledge. And there are two ways. The body either goes outwards or it goes inwards. Those are the two means. Vishayopalabdhitvat, so it's taking the outward vishayas, or lakshanaya atmavabodhakatvat. You see the atma which is inside. Those are the only two ways. So one is vishaya, one is atma. So he has to tell you which linga it is. How does he tell us? Ārādhayāmi manisannibham atmalingam. So the entire purpose of atma there is, it is not vishayopalabdhi, it is atma linga. So there are two options. He's negating one. Mani sannibha, mani in our sampradaya is swaprakasha. So it is a chit has come. And then the last pada, nityam samadhi kusumaira punarbhavaya, sat has also come. So sat chit ananda has come. There also, he says, how do you get this? Shraddha nadi vimala chitta jalabhishekaihi nityam samadhi kusumaira punarbhavaya. So we have to now do nityam samadhi. The way to achieve, that is the only way, very easy. Just be in samadhi nitya. Doesn't sound very practical, but that is actually not the intended meaning. See, samadhi, just like we saw, linga has two meanings. You can go outwards or you can go inwards. Samadhi also has two meanings. It is either yoga janya samadhi or it is nididhyasana janya samadhi. So either it is through yogic practices, sitting, doing all the dhyana, samadhi, the ashtanga yoga, or it is shravana manana nididhyasana. Here, nityam samadhi, the yoga samadhi is not nitya. That is the general experience. No one can sit for a long time. So So this is talking about Vedanta Shravana. So by Nityam Samadhi Kusumaihi, he is saying you have to do the Vedantic practices. So all of this is just hidden inside of the shlokas. Right? Once you know the tattva, it is obvious why he is picking certain words. Otherwise, it is just okay. It's for poetic reasons. It's for some other reasons. But this is what is hidden here. So the Nityam Samadhi Kusumaihi is not us being in Samadhi Nitya. It is that the Nididhyasana Padarupa Samadhi itself is Nitya. So that's the third one. Fourth one we'll take a look at is gaṅgāṣṭakam. So gaṅgāṣṭaka, there is a Bhagavad Pada stotra, it's Bhagavati tavatire nīramātrāśanoham vigata vishaya vitrishnah krishnamaradhayami sakala kalusha bhange swargasopanata sange taralatarange devi gange prasida. So basically says by coming to the Ganga and just drinking Nira Matra Ashanoham. If I do Nira Matra Ashana, I just drink a little water, I am done, right? Everything comes. What comes? Vigata Vishaya Vitrishna. The Vishaya Sakti, the desire for the external objects goes away. Vigata Vishaya Trishna. The thirst for external objects goes away by drinking the water of Ganga. Right? At that point, what do? Krishna Maradhyami. So now we can pray to Krishna. So I drink the water of Ganga, mind becomes clear, we worship Krishna, and then Sakala Kalusha Bhange. Kalusha is Papa, all the Papa karmas go away. And then Swarga Sopana Sange, I get Swarga. Hey, hey Devī Gange, Taral Tara Tarange, hey Devī. I do the solution, I salute you, right? Devī Gange Prasida, may you be happy. So I drink the water of the Gangas, I get everything we need. But what is there must be something else, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it now. So what is it that is special here? So Nira Matrasha Noham, and then we have Vigata Vishaya Trishna. All the Vishaya Trishnas go away, the mind becomes clear. And then we do worship of Krishna. So when the mind becomes clear, it didn't say mind became clear and you got moksha. Chitta Shuddhi did not mean moksha. Chitta Shuddhi is only a precursor for Shravana Manana Nididhyasana that we saw in the previous verse, that you have to engage. But you have an option, you can also enjoy Swarga. So when you have Chitta Shuddhi, and you do the karmas, Krishna Radhana with Chitta Shuddhi, you get whatever you want. You can go up, you can go in. Both options are there. If you choose the Krishna Radhana, then Sakala Kalusha Bhanga, all the Kalushas go away, and you can sit there in Swarga for a very long time. But the point of this verse is actually different. What he's saying is, any karma that you do has two kinds of results. There is either Drishtapala or Adrishtapala. Either you see the results here, or you don't see the results here, and you just get punya and papa. Next janma, something will happen. That is one, my way or the highway. It's only one of two things that will happen. You go to a guru gives you mantropadesha, that is Drishtapala. You are experiencing it, like you are directly seeing the results. If some punya comes in next janma, that is adrishtapala. Vigata Vishaya Trishna, it's your mind has no desires. Can you experience that or can you not experience that? You can experience it. It's just like happiness. Do you know whether or not you are happy? Do you know whether or not you are sad? Do you know whether or not your own mind is full of mala or not? We know this. So the Drishtapala comes. If you do Krishna Radhana at that point, instead of doing Shravana Manana and Nididhyasana, then you get Swarga Sopana Sangha. The Papa may go and you can go up to Swarga. But here Devī is saying that's not the right choice. That is, you cannot do that instead of Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Why? The Swarga Sopana Sangha is also Tarala Tara Taranga. Even Swarga itself, Shine, Punye, Martyalokam, Vishanti, you have to come back down. Right? So you enjoy, you get the Drishtapada, and then you have to use it for Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is what Bhagavad Pada is trying to teach. So all of those are woven together. The ordering is also important. Last one. Okay, if I take 5 more minutes.
Yes.
So last one, we'll do the ekaślokī. Right, serving. So we looked at the other 4 devatas of the Panchayatana. This one will use double purpose. Guru, Upadesha, as well as Sūrya. Both will come. This one is a completely different style. This is just conversational. Right? So there is a Shishya, there is a Guru, Shishya Guru, Samvada, all comes in the form of one shloka. So the Ācārya starts asking, Kim Jyotistava, what is the light? What is your light? Right? Kim Jyotihi Tava, what is your light? And then the Shishya gives a very enlightened, very long answer. He says, Bhanuma Nahani me Ratrau Pradipadikam. He says, there is daytime and there is nighttime. You didn't tell me whether it is daytime or nighttime. If it is daytime, the light is the sun. If it is nighttime, the light is the lamp, in this case is what he uses. Pradipa. So you can take moon also, but basically saying already there is duality. There is daytime, there is nighttime. In daytime there is the sun. In nighttime there is moon, there is the lamp. You know, so many answers are there. And then Ācārya says, forget all this, you have missed the point of the question. And he says, Syadevam, let it be. In fact, it is as if the Shishya comes and gives you a bad answer. He says, Syadevam, forget all this, come back. Right? That is the tone of the wording he is using there. Syadevam, Ravi Deepa Darshana Vidhavu, to see that Sūrya in the daytime. Kim Jyoti Rakhyahine, give me that answer. The Shishya gave a long answer. Ācārya also gives an equally long answer to bring him back. And says, fine, there is the sun, there is the moon. Who is seeing the sun? Then the Shishya says, okay, I have taken my beating. I will give you only one word answer. I won't give you long answer. So he says, Chakshuhu eye. The eye is the answer. I won't give you a long one. How many eyes are there?
2.
So Dvaitam or Advaitam? We are still Dvaitam, right? So he went from Dvaita Prapancha to one Chakshur Indriya. That's why it's Chakshuhu is singular. But because there are 2 physical golakas, right? There are 2 eyes. So then Ācārya says, I need to bring you even further. Tasya nimilanadi samaye kim. When you close it, now what is doing the scene? Right? And then the Shishya says, Dhihi, the mind, the intellect, the antakarana is doing the scene. So now we have finally come to one. Right? Until now we were outside, eyes also were outside, at least Di is one. But then he says, Di also something is seen. There is still 2 you haven't realized. So then he says, Diyo darshane kim, to see the Dhi, to see the intellect, who is witnessing the intellect. And then finally the Shishya comes with Tatraham, right? It is me. And he doesn't define me. He cannot define me. If he says me, Ācārya will come back. So he simply says Tatra Aham without any lakshanas. And then the Ācārya says, Aho Bhavan. Finally you have, before it was Syadevam, you know, now it is Aho Bhavan, you have reached. And the Shishya himself comes to the experience and says, Paramakam Jyotihi Tadasmit Prabho. I am the Paramakam Jyotihi. So in this way, Bhagavad-pada in all of his stotras has hidden so many things. It's not every single one or every single line. But he has kept these also. And if we contemplate upon this in our own way, we will come up with our own insights. And we will share them and somebody will say it doesn't make any sense. And that is okay. It can make no sense to them. It will make sense to you. Even things like in Gaṇeśapañcaratnam Stotram, Udakaram, Kripakaram, Kṣamakaram, Yashaskaram, Manaskaram. Why the pairs, right? Each pair means something is left out of something else. That's why. Take each one and you can contemplate. So same way, it's not just doing the parayana, but as you reflect, so many things will come. So Bhagavad Padam Tatra Vatva Amapi Viramani.
Thank you, Śrī Ajit Mama. Let's give one more round of applause. Thank you. We hope to listen to the recording of your speech multiple times and discuss it in future SLC sessions.